Things are under rules, never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk goes through us.
And you are looking live at the SD4L show. Today we have a special guest in head coach Mel Tucker. Coach, how you doing? Brian, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. I mean, we got the man here, the man with the drip, the man who has changed the trajectory of the program, and I'm excited. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing tonight?
Couldn't be more excited.
We're excited to have you, Coach. Thank you for joining us. I know you got a busy schedule, and you might have a little something going on Friday that keeps you a little busy, and we appreciate you joining us. So, how are the boys looking? And I'm going to ask you the dumbest question in interview history. Are we ready for Friday?
We're prepared.
Okay.
We're prepared. Yeah, no, it's I like what I see out there. The guys have worked extremely hard. First and foremost, the coaches do a great job, and they love the players. Coach hard for those guys every day. Our support staff, all the analysts, the GAs, quality control, the trainers, strength conditioning, nutrition, operations. Everyone's on the same page, working really hard every day, and the kids are all bought in. And we just been stacking days in preparation for this opportunity on Friday night.
Coach, you made a great comment the other day when you were getting interviewed. You talked about that you referenced the external expectations have changed, but not so much the internal expectations. What is the confidence level of the program? Is it as high? What's different from this offseason from the past offseason internally?
Yeah, so the internal expectations have always been very high, and I would say, like, if you go back to about a year ago, we knew that we had a good football team, and we knew that we had a chance to make a run and have a top program. Externally, though, there were really no expectations for us, and so we were picked to be one of maybe the 5 worst teams in the country, and so we had a chip on our shoulder, and we had a lot to prove, and we feel the same way now. We still have a chip on our shoulder. We have a lot to prove. That we're finished to pick maybe 4th. We're picked to finish 4th in the Big Ten East alone. And we have a lot of guys back. So, it's all about what we do next. That's why we play the games. We had a really good out of season, winter conditioning program, spring ball, summer ball camp, and this year our expectations are extremely high. I think the difference being is that people ask me all the time. But they make the comment, you're not going to be able to sneak up on anyone, this year. And so, of course we can, and we don't want to. I don't think we snuck up on anyone last year. There's a lot of good coaches in this league, and everyone knows a lot about everyone. Everyone knows what type of players we have and type of coaching staff we have, and so, we're going to put our best foot forward. Each and every day, and we have an opportunity to go in the woodshed on Friday night, and and get it done. Basically just get the job done. And so we've been preparing for this moment, and I love our players. I love our team. I think we had the makings of a good football team.
For sure. So, Coach, over the past year, as you said, internally nothing has changed. But in terms of recruiting and external perception of the program, the stock has skyrocketed in the last year. What have you noticed on the recruiting trail this cycle versus last cycle, maybe in terms of the reception you guys are getting, the responses you're getting, just the overall energy on the recruiting trail for you this year versus last year that you're feeling?
Yeah, well, now the recruits know that it's real. It's not just hope. It's not just talk. everyone I think was intrigued a year ago because new staff, new energy, um, and we have a lot of good coaches on our staff. They have a lot of experience and have had success other places, and so we have name recognition as a staff, and obviously Michigan State is a football school and has a strong reputation nationally. But a year ago was more like, okay, well, just wait and see. We'll be watching, Coach. We're looking forward to seeing you guys play. Looking forward to seeing what you can do and things like that. And so now that they've seen that, and they saw, week in and week out, and it was on a consistent basis, and then we finished strong. The recruits want to take a closer look, and they want to come to campus. They want to meet all the coaches. They want to talk to our players. Everyone wants to know, like, how are you doing it? What's it like in there? What's the culture? How do you flip it so fast? So people want to see when they get here. When they get here, they like what they see.
Right.
They see that it's not hype. It's real. I mean, it's authentic. It's what you see is what you get. And we have a process, and it's nothing happens by accident.
Right.
And we're very intentional about everything that we do, and so I think that's the kind of the buzz that you're hearing and you're feeling in recruiting is that there are really good players all across the country who see Michigan State as a legitimate, top program.
Right. Coach, last year you guys went, and one of your first building blocks of momentum was beating Miami in Miami. This year you guys are going out in Seattle, trying to win against the Washington Huskies. What can you tell us about your philosophy of scheduling those marquee games where maybe other programs in close proximity don't have a schedule as challenging? What do you say about the way you approach the out of conference schedule and why you schedule games in a tough manner?
Yeah, well, obviously, our players want to play, top schedule. I mean, they want to play big time football. But quite frankly, and with all due respect, right now we're laser focused on one game.
Right.
We have one game on our schedule. I mean, that's our focus, and it seems cliche, but this is my 26th year in the coaching position, and I know better than to have a focus that's on anything other than the next game. So that's how we feel as a staff. That's the way it is with our players. And again, we have another day of practice, and then the hay's never in the barn, and we're preparing all the way up until to the moment that we run out of that tunnel, and then we're gonna be working hard, for 60 minutes, 4 quarters in the game, 6 seconds of play.
Coach, this is not going to be your traditional interview. We're a tool, and we're family, and we just want to ask you questions that we're not trying to stump or trick, and we're family to you, but just curious, right? When you think outside the box, I mean, you guys have embraced social media, the program has, and really has engaged MSU Twitter, right? What are your thoughts on MSU Twitter? And, can an active Twitter base really help recruiting, or is that a little overblown?
No, it helps recruiting, big time. We recruit all over the country. I mean, we've got players on our team from California, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, we're on the East Coast, New Jersey, DC. I mean, we've got guys from all over. And so, how do you connect with those? How do you connect with those players and those parents? It's social media, and they get a chance to see what your brand is on social media. And everyone wants to be able to build their brand. And if you can show that you can demonstrate that you can build your brand on social media for your own program and for your own players, then the recruits actually can say, okay, well, if they can do it if they can do it for their players, they can do it for me. And so that's a big part of it. And the social media is not. I mean, it's mainstream now. It's mainstream. Like Twitter and Twitter and Instagram, and I mean it's funny. I mean, people talk about getting their news on social media, but let's be honest, we all get our news on social media.
We do. I mean, we really do. And really,
and in content, I mean, like you have to feed the beast. I mean,
right.
Everyone they're death scrolling and seeing what's new, what's next. Like like they haven't put anything out in 15 minutes. What's going on? I mean, so you got to keep it rolling, and but that's a part of it, and we embrace that. We embrace that. I mean, it's the new normal, and I think social media can be an advantage. And is an advantage for us, and it's going to continue to be that way. We're only going to get stronger in the social media space.
Coach, you're a big golfer, so at first I was going to ask you just a question of 4 guests you'd like to have dinner with, just historic. Yeah, golfer.
You say I'm a big golfer?
Yeah, you're all on the social media with the cigar and the Jordan cleats.
He's not really good, but all right, go ahead.
Well. All right, Brian, you can't insult the guest.
I'm not good.
You can't
either.
insult the guest.
Good. What do you mean good? Good relative to how much I practice? I'm a ball relative to how much I practice.
Hey, relative to me, you're great.
It's just about what shoes you're in on the golf course, Coach. That's all that matters. So what is your ideal historical golf foursome? So basically this question is a spin-off of who's 4 people you like to have dinner with in all of history. Who's your historical golf foursome if you had to choose, dead or alive?
Ooh, I'll take Barack Obama, Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah.
And I'll take Al Pacino.
Okay.
Al Pacino.
Okay. I like that one.
Tiger didn't make the top 4, huh? Huh?
Excuse me?
Tiger didn't make the top 4?
Yeah,
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he can. If you want to put him in there, we'll swap him out. Maybe we can get him in at the turn. We'll swap him out.
Yeah. All right. One similar question like that, Coach. What are you listening to when you're on the treadmill, when you're getting work done? What are your top 5 artists? What's always running through your headphones?
Oh, top 5 artists? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Coach, you're looking buff these days. I'm not gonna lie. You look a little bigger. You look like you've been working out. You look a little, talk to us.
I got a medium T-shirt on, man.
That's Brian's trick too.
That's my trick.
Yeah. No, you know what? I got a little Quavo on Takeoff. Here I've been listening to the Hotel Lobby. I got a little Frozen by Lil Baby.
Yes.
All right.
I was gonna listen. I got 25,000 for a Jacket, Gunna. I've been listening to that a little bit. I got a little. I still with the Yo Gotti, Cold Gangster.
Okay.
That's still
Okay.
It's still hitting
Right.
in there. It's still going, and I don't know. It's I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, I'm always going to dip back into, Pac or, Biggie. I was just listening to Notorious Thug with the Notorious B.I.G. and the Thug Sluggish Bone from my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio, man. So I was just listening to that from the radio show, man. So, yeah. I mean, but, I had some Jimi Hendrix on the other day,
So you're versatile.
Whatever I can get my hands on, man. I mean, if it sounds good to me, then I'm gonna play it. But there's certain things like pregame, that I like to listen to. That's right.
Yeah, he got Lil Baby and he got Gunna name dropped in this interview. This is an A+ interview. This is the peak.
Absolutely, Coach. You brought a certain swag to this program, right? And a lot of us believe that defining moment was after that Miami game when you talked about, dragging opponents into the deep waters, into the deep end with the pain, the pressure, the struggle, the strain, the weight room. And that's kind of like that. In a lot of our eyes, we believe rebranded the program. From that hatched the deep end, the deep waters. And what was that intentional, or was that something that you? This is the mantra of the program.
Well, it was organic. Our mindset here is relentless. It's high velocity. It's nonstop, and we believe in hard work and grinding, and playing Michigan State football. But that was and we talked that whole week about we knew we were in great condition. We had a plan for the heat, and that we studied in the out of season, and we implemented that plan, during fall camp. And so we knew that we would be able to play a four quarter game, and be strong in the fourth quarter. And we wanted to be a fourth quarter game. We wanted it to be that, and so that was part of our plan, and we talked about it, during the week, and we showed our players the video of alligator dragging a gazelle off the bank, and snatch them into the deep water, taking them out into the middle, and just disappearing. That this is what this is how it's got to be. It's got to be that in the fourth quarter. We have to get stronger and stronger as the game goes. We can't. We're not going to cramp. We're not going to. We have a plan. We're best conditioned, and and Trevor Mawad, passed away. A good friend of mine, he passed away that week of the game, and he's it's part of our program, and that was a tough week for us. So we, so it was, nothing's ever going to be given to us. And I mean, anything you want in life, you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to. We always ask our players, what do you want and what are you willing to do to get it? And there's going to be pain. There's going to be disappointment along the way. And, you come off a 205 season, and then you're fighting, scratching, and clawing to put together a football team, and bring guys together, and build a culture, and just expectations not being real high, but we have a really tight knit football team, and our program is built on toughness, and it's built on hard work and grinding, and pain tolerance, mental and physical, things like that. And we believe football is meant to be played a certain way. It's old school. It's the name of the game is hit, and body blows and wear people down, and be able to win games, be able to win close games, be able to win games in the fourth quarter, be able to when it gets tight, and people are and it's down to the wire, not flinching, just standing in there, and just plowing forward, and believing in the process, and playing the next play in a relentless manner. So our players believe in that. That's what we talk about. We practice that way, and so that it was very organic. And we talk about, that's how we talk about playing football, and then we practice that way. So if someone after that game they asked me about that game, and I'm just being truthful and honest about how we feel about the game, and how we felt like it went down, and where we what our plan was, and it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, Coach, you're a process-driven individual. The program operates in a process-driven manner. Can you take us behind the scenes on what a typical Mel Tucker day looks like in the offseason, what your daily routine kind of is? I know a lot of successful people, they sort of have a routine they stick to. They have a way of doing things. What is your day like, morning to night?
In the out of season?
Yeah.
Yeah. No day is the same.
Okay.
No day is the same, because it's I would like to say that I have a routine, but in my profession, that's not possible. That's not possible, because in the out of season, most of what I do is not coaching.
Right.
Per se, like on the field, coaching X's and O's. There's a lot of fundraising. There's a lot of community service. There's professional development. There's a lot of we do a lot of charity work and things like that, and we have to do things to connect with our community. And then recruiting is it's every single day, and so it takes a lot of different shapes, and so one day I may be in the office all day and doing what people think that a typical football coach would do, and then the very next day or maybe the next few days I'll be out of town and I'll be from city to city, talking to alumni groups and flying a flag in Michigan State and maybe recruiting and things like that, or I could be doing a charity golf event or something like that, or speaking to a group, or maybe shadowing one of our major supporters, trying to learn from the best, CEOs, guys like Matt Ishbia and Steve St. Andre and Greg Williams, and trying to learn how to become a better leader. And so it's there's really no set routine, but the bottom line is you got to get better every single day. Every day I have to ask myself, what am I doing to move the needle for Michigan State football?
You definitely named 3 great leaders and great supporters of this program, and one thing that Justin and I marvel at is your riddles with the local media. Western Michigan's a rules game, and it takes what it takes in aggregation or marginal gains, and you got all these quotes and slogans, and they'll ask you a question, and everybody's looking at each other like they don't know what the hell's going on.
Are you going to ask them about the 2 deep and the full list of injuries, Brian? Because you're not going to get it.
Yeah, we're not going to get an injury report. We're not going to get a 2 deep report. We're not going to get a kicker report, and that's what we don't want. But it's amazing when we watch from afar the way you handle the local media and the way that you got everybody. You got everybody talking to each other about what the hell's he talking about, and it's an art. It's an absolute art. Did you learn that from Nick Saban, Kirby, or is that just you?
I think that's just me. I try to answer the questions the best way that I can.
What do you mean the best way that you can? Come on, Coach. Come on.
If someone asks me a question, I'm going to answer the question. And if someone says to me, they ask me about, what are your goals, like in spring football? I'll tell them, you get better every day. Every guy get better. Aggregation of marginal gains, like micro gains. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he's not lying.
He's not lying.
He's not wrong.
No.
This is like this is actually what we're telling the players.
Right.
Yes.
This is what we're telling the players. We're telling the players, neutral thinking. We're teaching that. In here. I'm telling the media, like the same thing I'm telling the players.
Right.
So
I love it.
So I think we can see that the players aren't saying what's he talking about.
You're right.
Yeah. I can even attest.
They're around us every day, and then we actually have more time to explain in great detail. What it is what it means to have a mindset to get better every day, and how do you go about it, and what does it mean, and what is neutral thinking, how do you apply it, things like that. What is a relentless mindset, things like that. Like how do you get that done? So because there's, like you said, there's a process to everything. So one of the local media guys last year, he made a statement saying that I was the most boring. I was like I think he said boring or something was like, he couldn't get anything out of it. I said, look, I'm sorry, okay, but if I'm answering the question, I'm being up front with you. If I'm not giving you one word answers. I said, like, if you want to go, like, if you want to, like a comic deal or something like that, you got to go cover somebody else. If you want like a shock jock type deal, like, if you want one word, yes, no, and next, then you know where to go get that. And I told myself, hey, listen, if I'm not if I'm not giving you enough, then, like, I know there's a week between each game, so I know it's tough to have content, and so I said, just tell me you need more. I'll give you a little more if I can.
Well, and I can attest to Coach saying that's exactly what they're telling the players that they're with around all the time. But also, I asked the 2023 commit at tight end what his message is to Michigan State fans on the season, and his exact quote to me, word for word, was, "We got to be relentless. We got to keep chopping. We got to stack the days and make sure there's an aggregation of marginal gains." This is a recruit that has maybe, I don't know, spent 4 or 5 days around Coach in the program, so he's definitely telling the truth when he says that's what he's telling the players.
I'm walking around telling my clients that, Coach. You got us all bought in. But one last question, and we'll let you go. And do you want to weigh in on any biblical prophecies about your quarterback, and any opinion on Roe v. Wade before we let you go? Just curious.
Yeah, no, I don't have any thing to say about those things. We have a singular focus here, and that's Friday night against Western, and so no, absolutely not.
I love you, Coach. We love you to death, man. Coach, we'll be at the Woodshed Friday. We love you and we're gonna be there, and the Woodshed's gonna be rocking, and we can't be more excited, and we're so happy to have you. So
appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you, Coach Mel Tucker, joining the show tonight. Good night. Go Green. Much. We'll see you Friday. We'll be chopping on Friday in the Woodshed. Take care. Yes, sir.
SD4L, baby.
Absolutely. Yes, SD4L. Coach Tucker here. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
You got it. Take care.
Coach joining us here tonight. Yeah. Now, I'm telling you, he is a treat, man. Absolute treat, So fun. Yeah. So fun to have him here.
Yeah, especially when you get him like outside of the presser and he's just talking to you and knows you.
The whole kind of, just out of the element of just the typical mundane press conferences and stuff. So real quick, let's jump to the beginning and talk about the season opener against Western Michigan.
Yeah.
And run through that real quick. Number 14, Michigan State. Season kickoff versus Western Michigan Friday night. What do you think, Justin? Talk to us.
Yeah, so we're going to, I guess, look into some of the keys of the game here. And the thing that sticks out to me is when you kind of look at an opponent like Western Michigan, where new offensive coordinator, you don't entirely know the scheme and what entirely they're going to do, you start to gravitate to kind of the central rules of the game of football. That's what Coach Tucker was saying in his press conference. And when you're looking at an opponent that's in the MAC, where you can't take them lightly, but also you should be able to win off of talent, you're in a situation where you have to make sure that you get out to an early lead. You don't want to give them hope for too long. And also in this case, that's a bigger deal because Western is starting a quarterback with 0 career starts, and he's playing a night game on the road at the Woodshed. And you would like that quarterback to try to beat you through the air. They've lost Caleb Ellaby. They've lost Sky Moore. They've lost wide receiver transfer Jalen Hall. They've lost these pieces in their aerial attack. And if you can get out to an early lead and make Western Michigan pass the ball, then I think you're in good shape. And then there's a video that our producer Owen is playing for previewing the Western game.
Woodshed's going to be electric Friday night.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. I think some of the keys are there's no turnovers in minus territory.
Yeah.
Got to make them drive the field, right?
Right.
Clean, crisp. The first game is very important for clean, crisp, no penalties. Get to the line, no delay of games, no turnovers. Those are some things that are very important.
Yeah.
And then we want to see how the offensive line performs, right? I mean, controlling the line of scrimmage, I think, is going to be important. You know, one of the things to watch, I believe, is the offensive line and how they develop throughout the year, and how deep our line is as it relates to the game. I mean, these are some of the things that I think are extremely important. Get out to that early, like you said, you get out to that early lead,
Right.
control the turnover battle. And controlling the line of scrimmage, I think, are three of the things that we really need to focus on.
Right, I agree. Some of these sound like generic keys, but like I said, when you have an opponent of theoretically lesser talent, those central rules always apply, no matter the style of the opponent, no matter anything else. You need to be able to make them drive the whole field, which is a cliche, no turnovers, but especially, like I was saying, with the new quarterback, you want them to go 80 yards, 75 yards on every single time that they try to score on you. You don't want to give them the short field and things of that nature. Other than that, you don't need to have Peyton Thorne throwing for 400 yards. You don't need him throwing for 350 yards, though it would be nice. You just need to adhere to those principles of getting out to an early lead and making them beat you through the air with the long field. And yes, I do believe the offensive line needs to have a good game, like Brian said, because Western has a smaller defensive line than most of the teams in the Big Ten. So if you can't kind of bully them a little bit this week, then that wouldn't be promising. So I agree, Brian. Those are my three keys.
Players to watch. Talk to us a little about the players to watch this game.
Yeah. I think the first one you kind of just have to gravitate to and just say it just because I think he's Michigan State's best player, and that's Jaden Reed. And Jaden is the guy that transferred in from Western, as we all know.
How ironic, right?
Yeah. So he's coming in from Western. Last year he was one of the best players in the nation. He's a Blitnikoff Award watch list guy this year. He's going to probably be Michigan State's most reliable offensive weapon this year. So he's naturally going to be a player to watch. Up next, I have the running back duo, both Jalen Berger and Jarek Broussard. Those are two guys that I not only want to see how they do, but also the usage rate and see like how many carries each of them get. When you have a two-headed monster like that, they might look to feed the hot hand. They might look to keep it 50-50. So we'll see. Those guys have kind of complementing skill sets. One is more the elusive one-cut guy. And then Berger, whose highlight you see right here on the screen, he's a guy that will just plant his foot and try to go through the hole, has great vision. Won't make as many guys miss as Jarek, but he's a guy that's going to get you every yard that's blocked for. And then there you see Jarek Broussard just exploding through the line of scrimmage. I think he has a little bit of Kenneth Walker to him in terms of wiggle, and he runs stronger than his weight. I don't know if he has the top gear that K9 has, but he has that wiggle to him, that eraser element to him at the offensive line.
You know, Jacoby Windman is somebody that I'm excited to watch play.
Yeah.
He's much ballyhooed, much somebody that coming from UNLV, made a lot of plays. And we're going to see him come off the edge, and how they're going to use him is going to be very interesting.
Look at that move.
Look at it, get under. Like that's an NFL move. When you duck under that tackle. That's an NFL move. What are your takes on Jacoby Windman?
So Jacoby is very interesting to me for multiple reasons. One, because when he was at UNLV in 2020, he was a defensive end, Brian. So he was a down rusher, a defensive end, and he was all Mountain West Conference honorable mention. Then in 2021, he switches to inside linebacker. And he becomes all Mountain West second team after he switches positions to linebacker. So what that tells me is this guy is a very, very good defensive end that led his team in sacks, was all Mountain West honorable mention, then goes to linebacker and has an even better season according to the conference. And I, as a result, want to see how they use him in addition to how he plays, because he has a lot of versatility. So we got to see the usage and the versatility. That's what intrigues me about him.
You know, one storyline heading into this game is Thorne versus Thorne, right?
Yeah.
I mean, QB QB1, and his dad's on the other sideline. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, Peyton Thorne, obviously Michigan State's starting quarterback. That was there last year. I've been there longer, but starting as of last year. He's a guy that gets to go up against his dad this week. Mel Tucker said that he did not help him scheme against his dad. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be a cool storyline to watch. Jeff Thorne obviously has been a long, successful coach in Illinois. And it's going to be interesting to see.
And it should be.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you look at Peyton, the way he's matured, the way he's played, and then his dad obviously is, very well respected coming from D3. I just think it'd be so cool. I'm coaching my son now.
Yeah.
Right. Coaching against my son, that would be something very difficult to do. But also the new defensive front scheme, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying when Windman was brought up. This is going to be very intriguing to me because they have a lot of really, really good linebackers and not as many proven defensive ends this year. So you can do a lot of things with that. Jeff Petrowski is going to be a very, very useful, reliable defensive end. On the other side, do you want to start Chris Bogle, play him a lot of snaps? Do you want to maybe put Windman in a stand-up edge sort of configuration? Do you want to try to just rotate in a defensive end out for a stand-up edge on just third down? Do you want to be a full-time edge stand-up scheme? So that right there, how they line up in the front, as well as who the starting linebackers are, since they have so many good ones. You have Aaron Brule, you have Cal Halda, you have Darius Snow now at linebacker, Jacoby Windman, Ma now Teote, Ben Van Surman. You have 6 linebackers that can play substantial snaps. How do they balance that? Do they play all of them at linebacker? And just what is that rotation going to look like? That's very intriguing to me.
Very, very intriguing, and we'll, what do you call it? I know Coach was in here earlier, but it was funny watching that funny video talking about everybody yelling in the headset. Do we have that video real quick? I just want to cut
chaos on the headsets. You can't have a guy that thinks he's Brent Musburger and he's going to commentate the game. While the game's being played, and the coordinator can't make the call and can't get the down and distance, can't get the hash, can't get the personnel because this guy, he's out of his mind. Watching the game. We've all had some. We've all had some. We've all had our Brent Musburger moments. Stuff happens and guys like, oh my God, look, he's wide open. We don't need that right now. Give us the down and distance, give us the hash, give us the personnel so we can make the call. Next play, Are you guilty of that too at times? Never. Calm, cool, and collected, just like I am in the press conferences.
I think that might be the best Mel Tucker tidbit since he's been hired here.
Outstanding. That is, because if you ever had a headset on, you hear 20 people yelling in the headset and having that Brett Musburg, I could see myself announcing, look at him go, 10, 5. I could actually see that. And, if you're the head coach, people don't realize, they wonder why a head coach, the clock management sometimes bad, delay of games. Mm-hmm. There's so many people yelling in a headset about third down, fourth down, do we go for it or not? It's controlled chaos. So when we're watching on TV and we're saying, how did they let the play clock run out?
Yeah.
Or why are we calling a timeout? The punt team's not on, or the PAT team is not on. Mm-hmm. This is why there's so many people on a headset. That's why coaches now have in-game coordinators where they're next to them to manage the down and distance and the clock. Yeah, it's controlled chaos. Yeah, but it's so true, right? Everybody. I would be the first guy in their microphone yelling, acting like Brett Musburger. So that's a great, honestly, great tidbit by Coach. Shifting gears to basketball, MSU basketball. Yeah. Second ranked class in America.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is a updated class ranking now as of this week. ESPN updated their ranking for, I guess, their entire class, but mainly Xavier Booker was the big jump. You see on the top right over there, all of the changes that you see to the rankings. So Xavier Booker is now 3rd in the nation. Jeremy Fears is 34th. Cohen Carr is 60th. Garrick Norman is 74th. So according to the 24/7 industry average composite, that is 4 recruits for Michigan State basketball that are top 75, and that puts Michigan State behind only Duke And Kentucky is now third behind Michigan State, Ohio State fifth, Oregon sixth. And in this update, that brought Xavier Booker to being the third player in the nation, which makes him the highest ranked commit in the Tom Izzo era. I think maybe going back to 2000. But yeah, at the very least, the highest ranked Tom Izzo commit in the last 23 years, if not the highest ever.
Do we have that tweet? Did we show it already?
Yeah, that was up there. Yep.
So how do we managing expectations, right?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because when I was at MSU my freshman year, that was Jaren Jackson's freshman year, and he came in 5-star status, everyone expecting the world of him. He was a guy that was still just growing into his body, as you saw with the foul troubles and whatnot, but he was a guy that social media and everyone was holding him to a high standard. He would hear this noise on a daily basis, and when you see somebody like Xavier Booker come in, similar stature, similar profile, now 5-star status, highest ranked of the Izzo era, these labels, you got to understand that at the end of the day, there's not a lot of freshmen that come into the Big Ten and carry teams right away. If you're expecting Xavier Booker to come in and put up 20 and 10, and if not, you're going to go on Twitter and make a lot of noise at him, at Coach Izzo, then you probably should right now start to prepare yourself for sort of a grace period, an adjustment period. If Xavier Booker comes in, averages 12 and 6 for the first few months, wouldn't be a bust. He would be somebody settling into the conference. So right now, I would advise fans, despite the labels, despite the buzz, don't expect Xavier to come in and carry this team to a title in his freshman year. And if not, just throw labels at him or make all this noise on social media.
So hard. As Calipari found out, how many times can you win a natty,
right,
make a run with freshmen?
Right.
Usually when you run in the tourney, there's an experience laden team, and so while this team will be talented, you can't teach experience, so
right,
it'll take time, but the future is bright. Coach Izzo definitely looks invigorated.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just like I've been saying forever. He's got to be here for life, and he's on a contract for life. Yeah. So that's going to happen. So we're really excited about that. But skipping back to football,
yeah,
I'm really excited to see how the offensive line develops.
Yeah,
Brian Green, Spencer Booker. I want to see.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Spencer Brown. Yep.
Spencer Brown. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And I'm looking to see. What do you call it? I want to watch X play.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Snow.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Brian Green, I want to see how he comes in and develops.
Yeah.
And then Brule.
Yeah.
Winman.
Those linebackers.
Barker.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of talent on the edges. You got Trey Mosley. You got Keon Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
You got obviously Jaden Reed. And you got a QB1 who can throw him the ball. And so we got a lot of talent on the edges. I mean, really, when you talk about the speed this team has, Broussard's got the speed. You got the thunder and lightning in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a D line that's really can hold its own.
Mm-hmm.
Amir speed in the back end and some of the corners. You know, it's going to be really fun to watch this team develop. I personally believe this team will go as far as the offensive line goes.
Right.
And how we develop the depth. And we stay healthy, hopefully, with the starting five. And if we can develop 7 or 8 that can play, I think this team can make some noise. So we're going to go one game at a time.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
I forgot to ask Coach about are we covering the spread on Friday? Probably not a good question to ask Coach, don't you think?
Yeah, he might have answered. He's a very sharing, open guy.
He could have been. I mean, what's the spread? 20, 21? Up 17 on the 6-yard line? Are you kneeling or are you punching it in?
Right.
What do you think, Justin?
He's got to think about the donors.
The donors, hey,
I'm sure they have money.
The
Yeah.
alumni want their minus 21.
This is true.
Are you punching the ball in or are you kneeling on it?
Got to keep the donors happy. So I would hope for his sake that he punches it in.
I would. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Brian Musalam, along with my co-host, Justin Thin. You are watching SD4L show, Spartan Dogs for Life. Thank you for joining us. Good night, go green, and God bless.
It was a huge weekend for Michigan State sports. Hi, everybody. I am Owen Ozas with SD4L, bringing you Owen's MSU Weekly Update. It was a huge weekend across the board, going undefeated for all sports. let's dive right into it, starting with women's soccer. On Thursday, women's soccer picked up the dub 7-0 over CMU. Kohler had 2 goals. On Sunday, the Spartans also picked up another win as Lauren DeBow picked up her 3rd goal of the season in the match. Now flipping over to men's soccer on Friday, the men's team was able to pick up the win against Army 2-1. Captain Will Perkins picked up his 1st goal of the season to help the Spartans get the win. And then on Monday, they did suffer a loss 3-2 against number 4 Notre Dame. Jack Beck did make it interesting though, as he had a goal on a penalty kick. Flipping over to field hockey, on Friday, the Michigan State Spartans picked up the win in an upset victory over number 21 American. 3-1 was the final score. Emma O'Neill had a big contribution. She had 2 goals in this one. She also picked up a 3rd one on Sunday with the win against St. Louis 6-1, where Ellie Rutherford also had 2 goals as well for the Spartans. And now finally for volleyball, Michigan State volleyball, of course, getting that brand new head coach with Leah Johnson, a brand new home as well. They now play their home matches at the Breslin Center for the first time, playing there since 2010, where they took on Louisiana in the Auto Owners Insurance Invitational, taking down the Raging Cajuns 3-2. Meredith O'Gorman, she had 20 kills. Leah Moore had 20 as well. Zoe Nunez, she had a career weekend where she picked up her 4,000th career assist and also her 1,000th career dig this past weekend. On Saturday, the Spartans won again 3-2 against EMU. Aaliyah Moore and Meredith O'Gorman led the Spartans with 16 kills. And on Saturday in the nightcap, taking down Fairfield 3-0, Rebecca Boljan led the team with 15 kills as she was massive for the Spartans. Until next week, let's look in to see what the final call for the Michigan State Spartans were on Friday, getting their first win for the brand new head coach. Now Nunez to Moore! What a kill! And the Spartans get their first win of the season. First win of her young career.
Coach Johnson, congratulations on your first win as a Spartan.